The rain streaked down the glass walls of Adrian Cortez's office, blurring the city lights into streaks of gold and red. He stood behind his mahogany desk, hands gripping the edge as his reflection stared back at him, sharp jawline, perfectly tailored suit, but eyes that still carried a shadow of the boy who had been broken years ago. Celine's laughter had haunted him more than the memory of the breakup. That arrogant smile, the one she had flashed as she climbed into a limousine with a man whose wealth dwarfed his own. Adrian had hated himself for feeling small back then, for believing that love alone could keep someone like her, but now? Now, he was untouchable. CEO of Cortez Holdings. A self-made empire that had grown from nothing but his own determination and relentless drive, yet the news made his pulse tighten. His secretary's timid voice broke the silence. "Sir." Ms. Celine Alvarez called. "She wants to meet." Adrian didn't flinch. He didn't even turn around. "Cancel her call," he said, his voice cold. "I don't have time for ghosts." The phone sat silently on the desk, but in his mind, he felt her presence as clearly as if she were standing behind him. He closed his eyes, took a slow breath, and shook off the memory. She chose money over me. Let her live with that decision, but a plan had been forming for months now, one that didn't involve words or anger. A plan that required patience, precision. And someone else. Later that day, Adrian found himself reviewing resumes. The assistant's chair creaked under the weight of her nervous energy as she handed him a folder. "This one," she said softly, "is for your unusual proposal." Adrian raised an eyebrow. "Explain." She hesitated, then placed a single sheet in front of him. A young woman. Ordinary in appearance, but her eyes were sharp, honest, and desperate. Perfect for what he had in mind. "And Reyes," she said. "She needs money. Badly. For her mother's medical treatment." He scanned her photo. Simple features, but a quiet strength lingered in her gaze. He leaned back in his chair, fingers steepled. "Set up an interview," he said slowly. "I want her here tomorrow. And make it clear, this is not a normal job." The secretary's eyebrows rose, curiosity piqued. "It's marriage, sir?" Adrian's lips curved into a cold smile. "Call it a partnership. 1 year. No intimacy. No love. Just a contract. She needs money. I need someone to play a role." Later, when Anne arrived, Adrian studied her quietly from across the desk. Her hands trembled slightly, clutching a worn purse. She looked around the office like it belonged to someone from another world, which it did. I heard you were hiring," she said softly. "For anything? I can work hard, I can." Adrian cut her off. "I'm not hiring you to be an assistant. I'm hiring you to be my wife." And blinked. Her mouth opened, then closed. "Excuse me?" He leaned forward, eyes dark, unwavering. "A wife. 1 year. No intimacy. We part ways after 12 months. You get money. I get satisfaction. You understand?" Her lips trembled. I don't know if I can do that." He leaned back, arms crossed. "You can. Or you can walk away and risk your mother's treatment being delayed. The choice is yours." And swallowed, her eyes flicking to his, searching for a hint of jest. There was none. She nodded slowly. "I'll do it. For my mother." Adrian's lips curved in a slow, satisfied smile. Perfect, he had a plan, and the game had officially begun. But he didn't count on the unexpected, because as much as he wanted revenge, as much as he told himself Celine was just a shadow of his past, he didn't expect her to make him feel again. The grand hall glittered with chandeliers, each crystal reflecting the light like tiny stars. The music was soft, elegant, the kind that demanded attention without being overbearing. Adrian stood near the center, dressed in a black tailored suit that fit him like a second skin, his posture calm, controlled, and undeniably commanding. Tonight was his birthday, and everyone who was anyone had been invited. Yet his mind wasn't on the champagne or the expensive decorations. It was on the carefully orchestrated plan that had consumed him for months. Adrian's eyes scanned the crowd, resting briefly on familiar faces, business partners, socialites, and, of course, Celine Alvarez. She arrived late. As always, sophisticated in a designer gown, her smile confident, almost daring. She had no idea what he had planned tonight. Behind him, a soft voice broke through his thoughts. "Are you ready, sir?" Anne's voice was nervous but steady. She stood perfectly still, hands clasped in front of her. Her simple dress was elegant in its understated way, and for the first time, Adrian truly noticed how natural she looked in her poise. Adrian glanced at her, eyes narrowing slightly, not in anger but appraisal. She was perfect, not because she was glamorous, but because she was real. The kind of real that could make people forget appearances. "Perfect," he said finally, his voice low. Almost a growl. "Tonight, you're mine. Remember, confidence. Smile, walk, and be ready. Do not falter." Anne nodded, swallowing her nerves. I'll try my best." Adrian's smirk was faint but sharp. "Try isn't enough. You will succeed. Or this plan fails." As the clock struck 9, Adrian raised his glass, and the room quieted. He looked around at the crowd, then directly at Celine. Her eyes flicked toward him, curiosity laced with amusement. "Thank you all for coming," Adrian began, voice smooth, commanding. "Tonight isn't just about a birthday. It's about new beginnings." A faint murmur ran through the room. Celine tilted her head, eyebrows arched, intrigued. Adrian turned slightly, gesturing toward Anne, who stepped forward with careful grace. "Everyone, meet my fiancée, Anne Reyes." The room went silent for a heartbeat, then whispers erupted. Camera flashes caught Anne's startled face, but she held herself steady. Celine's hand flew to her chest. Her eyes widened. She could not believe what she was seeing. The girl Adrian had chosen, ordinary, unassuming, real, standing there, smiling slightly, radiating quiet strength. Anne's voice, soft yet clear, echoed through the hall. "Thank you, Mr. Cortez. I'll do my best." Celine's jaw tightened. Her mind spinning. How dare he? After all these years. He didn't even hesitate. Adrian caught Celine's gaze and let a faint smirk play on his lips. No words. No explanations. Just the calm, unyielding confidence of a man in control. The party continued, but the air between Adrian, Anne, and Celine had changed irreversibly. Adrian leaned close to Anne as they walked through the crowd. "Do not let her see you falter," he murmured, eyes scanning Celine, who was clearly plotting something, and nodded, her pulse racing. I won't. I'll do exactly as you said." Adrian's grip on her hand was firm, reassuring. "Good. Tonight, the game begins. But remember, this is only the start."